Hey everybody, we're in Algebra 2 and we're in 4.1. Hey, if you want to order PowerPoints or videos, email me, bro. 4.1, graph exponential and growth functions, okay? You think you can handle that? 34 points for your classwork, 10 points of notes, okay? Here's your bell work for your students that are walking in. They can, handle this, I hope. If not, they shouldn't be in Ouch 2. I'll tell you that right now. You'll be down in like 5th grade or something. Graphing exponential growth functions. You graph polys and radicals. You will graph and exponential growth functions. So you can model this here. This is in part 2 of 4.1. Okay, we're just giving you a heads up here on this. Okay, exponential function is classwork, kids. Page 1 on your classwork sheet. Exponential function has y equals ab to the x here, where a cannot equal 0, and the base b is a positive number other than 1. If a is greater than 0 up here, and b is greater than 1, then the function y equals ab to the x is an exponential growth function, and b is called the growth factor. So b, what is your growth factor here? The simplest type of exponential growth function is the form of y equals b to the x. Then here is a slide here for vocabulary. Here's a good concise definition of that. An exponential growth function is where b is greater than 1. Then students, you fill out the rest of that. Then here's a concept slide, parent function for exponential growth. F of x equals b to the x where b is greater than 1. And a parent function of the family, exponential growth function of the base b. A lot of words here. F of x is b to the x is shown below. So here is your parent exponential here. F of x equals b to the x, b is greater than 1. And then here is your y intercept right here when x equals 0, y equals 1, blah, 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 and then onward. The x-axis is the asymptote, so here is your asymptote, your horizontal asymptote of that. An asymptote is a line the graph approaches but never crosses. The graph rises from left to right, yeah it do. Look at that. Through the points of 0, 1, which is there, and the 1b, which is over here. The domain of f of x equals b to the x is all reals. So we have all reals here. The range is y is greater than 0. Yeah. Now we have growth factor. We have vocab here. Here's your growth factor, and then asymptote is a graph that a line or a graph cannot pass. Classwork, page 4. And then we go into an example 1 here. Graph y equals 2 to the x. Make a table of values. Here's your table here for y equals 2 to the x. Step 2, plot. So we're going to plot here on slide 6, classwork. So here is our plot here for y equals 2 to the x. That's the function, yes. X-axis is the horizontal asymptote. Here's your horizontal asymptote. Draw from left to right a smooth curve, and you plot from your table here, or you just use a graphing calculator, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you don't use a table. I mean, come on, bro. Okay, then we go into our guided practice. Graph the function, state the domain and range. Here is our function. Your independent practice is down here. And Rough Dog went ahead and did that for y'all. I mean, this is like a freebie here for you all, for you homies out there. Write this down. Okay, graph the function, state the domain and range. So we're back here in the guided practice. Domain is all reals. R is Y has got to be greater than 0. Here is your function here. For y equals, when x equals 0, y equals 1. That's here when x equals 1, y equals 3, yes? See, this 2, 3, they got this up here at 4. This graph should be more over here. When x equals 1, which I'm thinking is right here, y equals 3. This is 2, yes? So your curve should be more over here like that. Range is y equals greater than 0. Yeah, your range just goes up like that. So these are your y values here of this function. Domain all reals. So the domain, yeah, it would start way over here, and theoretically it would go this way forever. Positive infinity and negative infinity, all reals. Then we go into our homework here for 4.1, graphing exponential growth functions, vocab and writing. And then we get into matching graphs here. This is always fun. This is nothing but fun here for y'all. And then graph these functions. Graph these functions. Use a graphing calculator, class. I mean, come on. And then same thing here. Graph these functions. Graph these functions. DVD players. We got a word problem here, but we got like a exponential growth function here where we plug in t here is years. Number of years is 97. Identify the initial amount, blah blah blah. And then page 7 of your homework here, each March, blah blah blah. You got a word problem here. So there you go. And this is all in your Algebra 2 course suite here. And you will get test worksheets, class worksheets. You will get correction PowerPoints with this suite here. And if you wish, it can all be in video. So there you have it. Have a nice day.